Welcome to the Reality Revolution. I'm your host, Brian Scott. Today we're going to return to Frank Rudolph Young. I've had one episode dealing with a writing by Frank Rudolph Young about the Khudd Ozonta, which essentially is just two words it looks like he made up, but had a pretty interesting technique on controlling your own self. This time is something even more remarkable. There's a book that he wrote called Psychastra, the Key to Secret ESP Control, and he's talking about Psycho-Astral Power. Frank Rudolph Young is a little different than these other New Thought authors. He comes from a training background and seems to talk about physicality in a little bit different way. I found this interesting because he's talking about accessing the astral body and introduces a concept called the Mind Navel, the portion of your body that connects to the silver cord. It reminds me of the discussion of the plate. And so there's some different stuff here, some techniques that you can use, and I found it very compelling, so I wanted to share it with you. Using the Mind Navel for Psycho-Astral Power by Frank Rudolph Young. Psychastra. Psycho-Astral Power is the magic key to unsurpassable secret power. It required relentless search by my ancestors, spanning over 140 years and extending across every continent of the globe to at last find the magic key to it. They discovered it concealed in the innermost sanctums of the psychic masters of Egypt, India, Africa, and the West Indies. The author himself set out early in life to uncover the science behind the workings of this magic key. After 35 years of investigating it in university after university, library after library, discussing it with big money people and ex-presidents of North and Central America, famous film stars and producers who had happened to touch it and make enormous successes with it, and dozens of businesses and professional men, he was satisfied it could be made to work for his students. In this book, he reveals the unsuspected science concealed with this magic key and teaches how to seize it and use it with supremely gratifying results. In the Western world, with a mere touch of this magic key, a man with less than a grammar school education started with practically nothing, yet in a few decades, he accumulated a fortune with an income which approximates $1 million. A young athlete has remained the leader in his field and grosses almost $1 million a year from his many business ventures stemming from this secret power. An American Marine fought in the thick of action in one danger spot after another in the Pacific in World War II, and was discharged after 4 years without a scratch suffered in the armed services. An unbelievable, unpopular, unprepossessing young woman captured a strikingly handsome young certified public accountant as a husband who climbed swiftly up the ladder into the vice presidency of a giant corporation. A frustrated college student who had failed in 2 colleges returned to school after several years, earned highest grades in every subject. A poor starving man of 83 who had reared 6 children made himself young again and returned to life. He retired 7 years later at 90 with $100,000 and ready to enjoy another 20 years. A leading professional athlete with several bullets in him was expected to die in the hospital, or at best never be able to compete again, but he came right back and lived and competed again, about as good as ever, even with 1 bullet still in him. The number of such examples is startling. With Psychastra, many equally startling things can be accomplished. Frank R. Young. How locking secret ESP plus control within you can make miraculous changes in your life. How a poor man of 83 made himself young again and retired at 90 with $100,000. Jim Cowan had come to Chicago at 40 years of age and had married and reared a family of 6. He was a poorly paid clerk, and his family had barely subsisted on his wages. But his 6 children had grown up and married and settled in different parts of the country, and his wife had died. The depression of the 30s had been a nightmare to him. Because of his age, he had done little better financially during World War II. He had never turned radical, but believed in rugged individualism and was convinced that America was bursting with opportunity for anyone with industry and ambition. Every 5 years, he repeatedly stated, "Everybody has at least one big chance to make a fortune, but too many pass it up and let somebody else make it." At 83, Jim saw his own every 5 years opportunity come up, and for the first time in his long life, he seized it. Mutual funds were advertising for salesmen, and he answered the advertisement and landed the job. He had studied the stock market reports for years, but had never possessed the means to buy. As a mutual fund salesman, though, that study made him convincing to prospective customers, and the bits of cultural information from his vast reading, which he dropped naturally during his sales talk, aroused great respect and esteem for his recommendations, and he signed up an amazing number of new members. He soon moved from his shabby rooming house quarters into a neat hotel. He stopped subsisting almost exclusively on carrots, lettuce, and beets, and started enjoying better balanced meals. His back remained straight and his weight lean, but he took on just enough extra poundage not to look and feel decidedly younger. Jim also started investing heavily in a special situation mutual fund, something which no broker advised a man of his age to do. But he also invested in promising stocks when they dropped way down due to the time of the year, adverse rumors, and other causes of mass hysteria. Jim's life became so interesting that he could hardly wait to start out in the morning for another big selling shares day, and also to snap up new bargain stocks that he had spotted in the paper the night before. He dressed dramatically now, went to barbers instead of burning his long hairs off with a lighted match held beside the comb, and felt and considered himself as a successful man of 40 who had finally struck it rich. Jim retired at 90 with an accumulated sum of more than $100,000. The capital of the special situation mutual fund in which he had invested had multiplied many times over. Most of his promising stocks had risen too, a few of them as much as 10 to 12 times what he had paid for them. Jim, meanwhile, had been investigating retirement in Mexico. At 90, he retired and went to live there like the lord of the land, ready to enjoy another 20 years of healthy, enthusiastic life, so young did he still feel. How Jim's touching the key to secret ESP Plus control can do the same for you. By merely touching the key to secret ESP Plus control, you can do for yourself what Jim Cowan did for himself, and much more. Just do it the way Jim did it. First of all, refuse to see yourself as growing old. Seize your opportunities whenever they appear, so as long as you remain within the law. By never feeling old, Jim kept his back erect. He lived simply and took care of his health, and therefore never felt outside the picture. And you must abound with confidence in yourself. Jim did, even though his life had been a financial failure up to 83. Like him, too, keeping up with the times, most important of all for actually seeing the opportunities and making money fast, is to refuse to let yourself be carried along with mass hysteria. Profit from mass hysteria instead, as Jim did by acting repeatedly contrary to it, but do it conventionally. Jim also sold most of his stocks when they made a decent profit, instead of hanging on to them greedily and watching his profits go down the drain. He bought promising ones with the profits and made money with those too. He trained himself to sense the times, to feel the public pulse, and thereby to capitalize on it again and again. Had he begun doing that at a much earlier age, say at 30, 40, or 50, he would have been a millionaire many times over. Jim made all that money at that late age, starting from nothing, by just applying those very principles again and again. So can you. Why? Because your astral body will absorb those repeated communications from your physical body and make itself useful to you, just as Jim's did to him. And since he wanted to buy the right stocks for him, his astral body brought him the sense of those astral stocks, for it knew the past, present, and future, and therefore knew which stocks would rise fast. How unpopular Donna changed herself into a fascinating young woman. Donna Wilson had no looks to speak of, and her personality was the kind that attracted nobody. She was 25 years old now, and clerked in an unseen department at her work. She had gone to dances, beaches, lectures, concerts, bars, popular travel resorts, dude ranches, night colleges, taken group bicycle tours, gone to skiing resorts, and to wherever else men flocked, hoping to meet and capture an eligible bachelor. She had even spent 2 years helping out in a hospital, hoping to land an intern. But she had no luck. She had come into contact with hundreds of attractive and desirable bachelors, but none had sought her company for long. Her friends urged her to glamorize herself, to bleach and curl her hair, to wear thick makeup and teetering high heels, and smile much more. But Donna insisted on remaining her natural self. One evening, while helping at the USO, she perceived a tall, dark, handsome young officer of about her own age. He fascinated her, and she made up her mind to catch him, and she was always determined to catch him just as she was. So she gazed at him, visualizing herself meanwhile as being the most enchanting young woman who was ideally fitted for him. Their eyes met, and she visualized him beholding her as being just the girl he wanted, just the one who suited him in all respects, just the one he had been searching for all his life. She filled her eyes with a deep yearning for him too, to convince him that she herself felt he was the very man she wanted. The young officer gazed back at her, and despite his excellent vision, perceived her as looking like the very girl he had been searching for all his life. She filled her eyes with a deep yearning for him, too, to convince him that she herself felt he was the very man she wanted. The young officer gazed back at her, and despite his excellent vision, perceived her as looking like the very girl he had been searching for all his life. They met shortly afterward, and Donna, as she associated with him, continued visualizing her personality as being the very one that fitted his ideal girl. He in turn accepted that vision as his own. Their relationship matured fast, and they married within 4 months. The young officer's term of service ended shortly after, and he was offered a splendid position as a CPA with a major United States corporation, and before long, put in charge of a branch office. With Donna's eager interest to back him up, he rose fast. At 45, he was one of the vice presidents of that big concern, with a salary and stock options that made him a wealthy man. He and Donna had 3 admirable children in the meantime. Unbelievably unpopular, unprepossessing Donna Wilson had achieved her ideals by seeing herself so vividly as the very girl she imagined that young officer wanted, that her astral body had automatically created that very picture of her for his eyes to see. How you with secret ESP Plus control can win anybody you want to. With a touch of the key to secret ESP Plus control, you can do for yourself far more than Donna Wilson did, for she could hardly have started with less. Nor did she change herself to catch her prize either. Like her, you have to refuse to let yourself believe that you don't have enough good looks, personality, or anything else you think you need to win anybody to you. Just gaze at the person you want to win and visualize yourself as being his or her ideal, whether you are that creature or not. Do that with everybody you want to win to you. Just visualize yourself right there before that person as being suddenly converted into his ideal, whether it be romantically, socially, professionally, or in business. At the same time, visualize yourself as looking exactly like his ideal, no matter how different from his ideal you may look. Fill your eyes, too, with a strong liking for that person, since nobody normally likes the person who despises him. Your astral body will receive this picture from your conscious mind and will superpose the very likeness of such as individual over you. The person you want to win will instantly see with his psychic power center only that astralized picture of you, and will accept it as you and be instantly enthralled by you. How Richard Foley loafed through college but passed his examinations with a last-minute miracle memory. Richard Foley was not an ideal college student. He was indeed the type of student whom no one should imitate. His tardiness and absence and inattention in class infuriated the instructors, and they were ready to flunk him out at the end of every semester. They considered him an overgrown donkey who should never had been admitted to the school in the first place, but Richard constantly aborted their plans by scoring high enough in the final examinations of each semester to get by. He did it with a carefully worked out secret. He took good notes during classes but ignored them in the textbooks until the night before the examination, In the meantime, he never worried about passing and teased his serious classmates for studying at all during the semester, when they could be having a whale of a good time, going to plays downtown, hockey games, baseball games, and taking girls out. The night before examinations, however, Richard closeted himself alone in his room with his notes and textbooks, and opened them seriously for the first time. He raced through his notes in subject after subject. Then he skimmed through his textbooks, covering mainly the captions, the definitions, the underlined and italicized sentences, and anything which the instructor had suggested or directed the class to look up. He went over nothing twice. He just raced over the material on the alert, soaking it into his mind like a movie camera. He questioned nothing and deliberated over nothing. He just absorbed everything he looked at, exactly as he saw it. And he did so with the overwhelming conviction that during the examination he would recall it exactly as he had seen it. Richard went to bed about midnight and enjoyed a good night's sleep. Next morning he awoke refreshed, bursting with confidence that he would pass without trouble. He put the whole thing out of his mind and enjoyed himself until class time. When he read the first question, instantly the very page and paragraph and lines upon which he had seen the answer flashed into his mind, and he just copied it down. He did so with question after question. He did not cheat nor glance at his classmates' papers. He only kept his mind cool, calm, and clear. He failed to answer only the few questions whose answers he had overlooked during his rapid skimming. His astral body had absorbed pictures of everything he had glanced at the night before and automatically reproduced them now, right before his eyes, the moment his conscious mind requested them. Richard Foley went all the way through college that way and graduated with ease, but of course he had cheated only himself in the end, for he had studied nothing. How you can easily have access to knowledge like a computer. With a mere touch of the key to secret ESP Plus control, you can do for yourself far more than Richard Foley did for himself, for he used this great power for a limited and self-cheating purpose. You yourself, though, can use it to achieve the highest pinnacles in life. You can use it to pass the examinations required in your career for speedy advancement, to reveal to you the winning, unsuspected aspects of new, original ideas which can save your business or convert you into a millionaire, to bewilder and fascinate others in social life and be sought after everywhere. Richard Foley's whole secret was to extract just what he wanted or needed out of the universal material and nothing else. He did not try to learn all of it. He just scanned the parts which he considered necessary for his purpose, and while extracting it, he did not pause the question or deliberate over it. To do so would have disrupted his memorizing rhythm. To memorize instantly, then you have to blot it in only to the material you want to remember, so that it forms a clear picture in your astral body's brain. Richard Foley's astral body received these pictures and held them in readiness to be released to him as soon as he wanted them. Since he had not confused them with thinking and questioning while gathering them, this is the way to do it. How Reginald shook off 60 pounds of unwanted weight. Reginald Owens was 6 feet 1 inch tall, but weighed 350 pounds. He desperately wanted to lose weight. He had tried everything, including skipping meals and dieting. Although he lost up to 15 pounds that way, he felt weak and dizzy and ate more than ever to regain his strength. Then he grew heavy all over again by omitting breakfast altogether daily. He managed to keep his weight down to 308, but he wanted to lose at least 100 pounds. Reginald was in a quandary, for he was far from affluent, yet his clothes kept him poorer still because he had to have them tailor-made. He had studied the human body, though, and held a college degree. The possibilities of ruling the body by controlling the nervous system intrigued him, and he couldn't see why his nervous system couldn't rule his weight too, since the flow of digestive juice in the stomach could be increased eightfold in laboratory experiments. Why, he asked himself, could the mind just as effectively be used to reduce his digestive juices enough to curb his appetite significantly? He should then regularly consume less food and steadily lose weight. In that way, too, his digestive glands should shrink until his very appetite decreased permanently, and then he would eat anything he wanted to and not get really fat again. His sympathetic nervous system, his fighting nerves, Reginald knew, when stimulated, decreased the appetite in order to enable the organism to defend itself against a peril. It did so by drawing blood away from the digestive organs into the skeletal muscles. Reginald at once filled himself with the absolute confidence that he could lose weight by intensifying his sympathetic nervous system control over his digestive juices with sheer mind power. So he made himself artificially angry immediately preceding every meal. He recalled some despairing experience he had suffered, and his brain secreted serotonin and adrenergic substances which stimulated his sympathetics. Simultaneously, he sent his stomach a stern, conscious mind command to secrete far less digestive juice than it did normally. That day, Reginald ate less. Every day thereafter, he ate steadily less, without even trying to. At the end of a month, Reginald's appetite had decreased so much that he had lost 20 pounds. The next month, he lost another 20 pounds. During the third month, he lost 15 pounds more. He then went to work on the outlying farms picking fruit, for jobs were hard to find then, and disappeared from the vicinity. But he had already reduced a total of 60 pounds just by turning pleasantly angry shortly before every meal. His astral body had absorbed that picture by repetition and had infiltrated his digestive glands with it and shrunk them. How you can control your weight with Psychastra, with a mere touch of the key to secret ESP Plus control. You can control your own weight just as Reginald Owens did by turning angry at your food immediately before a meal. You discourage rabid hunger from your stomach and replace it with moderate hunger. Even when you stop indulging in this artificial anger routine, soon thereafter your hunger will not turn rabid easily again, because your digestive glands will be atrophied to a degree and will therefore secrete less digestive juice when you approach the dinner table. Maintain that routine for a while and you will reduce your calorie intake to the normal point without even trying to. Like Reginald Owen, your astral body will have invaded your digestive glands astrally and blunted permanently the excess hunger feeling in them. Note, the research of nutritionists suggests that the intake of food is regulated not by hunger contractions of the empty stomach, as was previously believed, but by satiety, or a feeling of fullness in the stomach, which comes about during feeding. It is caused by a feeling of fullness in the stomach, which comes about during feeding. It is caused by a satiety factor, a blood-borne inhibitor which appears during feeding and which triggers the appetite in the brain. In fat persons, it is believed that this signal does not reach the apostat or is screened out by the liver or some other organs. This satiety feeling is created, however, by the sympathetics, which dilate the stomach. That's exactly what Reginald Owens was doing to himself by turning artificially angry not long before each meal. The foregoing are mere samplings of the miracles which you can easily bring about in your life with a mere touch of the key to Psychastra. Learn how to seize hold of that key, as the following pages in this book will tell you. How to find and seize hold of the magic key to secret ESP Plus control. What ESP Plus is? Webster's dictionary defines ESP, extrasensory perception, as perception outside the realm of the senses, apart from sense perception. ESP Plus consequently obviously means a greater, infinitely greater power than ESP. The psychic master explains the difference between the two even more specifically as follows. ESP, he states, is primarily concerned with the mind and body, contacting the astral body, but not uniting with it, nor bringing it under its absolute control. With ESP Plus, the mind and body not only contact the astral body, but also unite with it and assume complete dictatorship over it and make use of any of its miracle powers at will. Psychastra is the magic key that unlocks the secret pathway for your uniting with and assuming complete dictatorship over your astral body. You can then control anything of yourself or of others or of the earth or of anything pertaining to the earth in any form or manner you wish. And you can do it instantly, without the necessity of previous practice or preparation. Such a power is miraculous to you because you don't know where to find the magic key, nor how to seize hold of it. If you did, with ESP Plus, though, you would at once acquire domination over the atoms and molecules of your physical and astral bodies, of those others, living or dead, of those of other forms of matter, of those of the atmosphere bordering the earth, of the sound waves and light waves that bombard you from outer space. With it, you could control your mind and body as you wish, as well as the minds and bodies of other people and animals. You could control the natural elements and domineer on the astral plane. You could tell the past and foretell the future and plan your whole life accordingly and reap the greatest possible gains in anything you undertake. The mouth of your silver cord, the secret lock of ESP Plus control. Your silver cord is the astral channel or tube which connects your physical body to your astral body. It commences at your navel and passes unto your astral body. It will retain this union between your two bodies until about 3 days after your death. Then it will be severed and your astral body will depart from your physical body. Even when your astral body transports itself thousands of miles away from during your life as an astral body projection, your silver cord remains attached to your physical body, although thinned out into a microscopic tube. The empty channel within your silver cord is walled off from your physical body by your silver cord valve. Constant, uninterrupted communication between your physical body and your astral body is thereby prevented. Your silver cord valve, in fact, normally moves in one direction only. It moves away from you into your silver cord or toward your astral body. When any communication tries to flow from your astral body into your physical body, therefore it pushes your silver cord valve back again, and that shuts your silver cord. That effectively prevents the communication from reaching your physical body. Little that takes place in your astral body as a result is conveyed and registered in your physical body, excepting rare, spontaneously experienced psychic phenomena. Your physical body as a consequence remains a stranger to your astral body and cannot unite with it and usurp its unlimited powers. With Psychastra, the key to secret ESP Plus control, you unlock this secret pathway and reverse the normal movement of your silver cord valve at will and allow all communication from your astral body to flow into you. With that well-guarded secret, the psychic master uses his unlimited secret ESP Plus control to perform consciously any miracles he wishes. Where the magic key to secret ESP Plus control is concealed. From the very beginning, man has desperately sought to find the magic key to the incomparable secret of ESP Plus control. Mystics found it through their faith in the Absolute. Psychic masters found it through dedicating their lives to meditation. It has been called Nirvana, Kundalini, and of late, the supraconscious mind. Nirvana, though, includes mainly cosmic ray powers. Kundalini has no physiological basis since the only fluid that flows upward in the spinal canal from the base of the spine is the mild, lubricating cerebrospinal fluid. The supraconscious mind has no more basis than that, for there is no significant magnetism existing between the bodies of the widely separated pineal and pituitary glands. It required the relentless investigations of 4 generations of men, extending over every continent on the earth, for nearly a century and a half, studying the sciences for years in leading colleges and universities, researching in countless libraries, and searching through one psychic master hideout after another to uncover it. With the help of the psychic masters of Egypt, India, Africa, and the West Indies, they found it concealed in the Mind Navel, the carefully guarded secret of the Mind Navel. The Mind Navel is the 1-inch long astral channel outside between your navel and your silver cord. It is hitherto unsuspected connection between your physical body and your silver cord before your silver cord proceeds to join your astral body. A handful of carefully hidden psychic masters have known about it for centuries, but they guarded the knowledge of it with their lives. To the inquisitive who surprised them staring at their navels, the science of omphalopsych, it's in the Oxford Dictionary, they simply replied that they stared at them to achieve one-pointedness, or for the total concentration necessary to unite their minds with their bodies. Actually, they were not staring at their navels, but at their mind navels. They were concentrating the energy from their psychic power centers, or from their third eye and their forehead and temple areas of their brains, through their eyes, into their mind navels, and thereby controlling the magic key to ESP Plus control, which their mind navels housed. The most advanced psychic masters whose technique you will be taught here don't even assume that crippling position of starting at their physical navel, but contact their mind navels through a secret route within them, which you will be taught later. How the unlocked secret pathways let ESP Plus control flow into you. The 1-inch long astral channel of your mind navel, which houses the magic key to ESP Plus control, contains only astral air, something very much like the ether or plasma of the atmosphere. It does not contain oxygen, hydrogen, nitrogen, or any of the other gases of air. Astral air, though, fills the channel of your mind navel so unobtrusively that your physical body is wholly unaware of it. When a communication is sent from your physical body to your astral body, your mind navel contracts and pushes your silver cord valve into your silver cord. The communication from your physical body, as a result, rushes through your silver cord into your astral body and registers itself in it. Your silver cord valve then immediately returns to its original position and seals the mouth of your silver cord again. Now take the situation in reverse. When a communication is sent from your astral body toward your physical body, it tries to push your silver cord valve into your mind navel instead, or backwards into you, so that it can pass through your silver cord and your mind navel and flow into you. Your mind navel, though, just contracts as it did before, and that prevents the communication from your astral body from reaching you. If you can keep that from happening, you can unlock the secret pathway and let your astral body communication flow into you. You can achieve that with secret ESP Plus control by dilating or opening your mind navel instead of letting it contract as it normally does. Then the resulting suction created in your mind navel sucks your silver cord valve into it. That at once opens your silver cord in the reverse direction of normal. The communication from your astral body will then pass through the mouth of your silver cord and then through your mind navel into your physical navel. After that, through your psychastral route, the secret use of which will soon be revealed, it will be drawn up to your conscious and subconscious minds. In that same manner, you can draw into you all the unmatchable miracle body power, knowledge of the past, present, and future, wisdom of any subject, power of divine-like healing, of inescapable mind reading, of limitless sight and hearing, of instant transportation, any distance, of accurate prophecy, of astral body possession of others, of superhuman ability to meet any emergency and save lives, and any of the other miraculous powers of secret ESP Plus control. Psychastra, the magic key to open the secret lock to ESP Plus control. Psychastra is the magic key with which you dilate your mind navel with ESP Plus control and let the suction created in it open your silver cord valve in the reverse direction and allow the communication from your astral body to flow into your physical body. Psychastra achieves this miracle simply with astral suction. It actually sucks the ether within your mind navel away from your mouth of your silver cord and toward your physical navel, thus creating an astral vacuum at the mouth of your silver cord. Your silver cord valve, as a result, is sucked very wide open into your mind navel, and the communication from your astral body pours into you. That astral suction creating a vacuum within your mind navel is Psychastra, the magic key to secret ESP Plus control. How to seize the magic key to ESP Plus control. Sit alone in your room or lie down on your bed or sofa, on your back, and relax. Close your eyes and visualize your mind navel and your silver cord with the silver cord valve between them, effectively blocking all communication to you from your astral body. At the end of your silver cord, estimated about 3 feet long for this exercise, visualize another you, your astral body, which knows everything and can do anything instantly. Visualize this other you as being perfectly ready and willing to do anything worthy that you ask him to do, but that your silver cord is stubbornly wedged between you two, preventing you from communicating with each other. Your silver cord valve is wedged stubbornly between you two because it is an astral valve, and your own conscious and subconscious minds keep it shut by doubting and scoffing about your astral body and any supernatural powers it may be said to possess. Immediately, now, halt all your doubting and scoffing by filling yourself instead with absolute confidence in your astral body and its power to do anything whatsoever on earth. Do not merely pretend to acquire this confidence in it, but saturate your whole body with it from head to foot. Feel this confidence in it filter through your whole body, from your head down to your neck, to your shoulders, to your arms, to your chest, to your waist, to your legs and your feet, until your entire body tingles with it. Practice saturating yourself with this confidence until you are thoroughly convinced from head to foot that your astral body does exist and that it stands there facing you, ready to obey your command. The nerve endings at your physical navel, which until now have been desensitized against anything astral because of your habitual mental attitude toward psychic phenomenon, will suddenly acquire an abnormal supersensitivity and draw astral sensations from your mind navel for a change. The ether in your mind navel will, as a consequence, be drawn toward the physical body end of your mind navel, and thereby create a vacuum by the mouth of your silver cord. Your silver cord valve will then snap open toward your physical body and allow the communications from your astral body to pour into your body. You will then have seized the magic key to ESP plus control. Practice and master this exercise so that you can seize hold of the magic key to secret ESP plus control at will anytime you wish. How to unite the magic key to secret ESP plus control to your conscious mind through your psychastral route. The nerve routes which your astral body communications pursue through your body to your conscious and subconscious minds compose your psychastral route. It consists of 5 individual nerve pathways running like the lines of a musical bar, parallel to each other until they reach your brain. There they diverge, each one continuing to its respective cerebral destination. The 5 individual nerve pathways of your psychastral route are composed of sensory, message-bringing nerves which convey separately to different areas of your brain astral messages of muscle coordination, pain and temperature, touch and pressure, proprioceptive or sensations of the pull of gravity and of horizontal planes of the earth, spinal visual reflexes or reflexes of equilibrium and riding to keep your body erect. Each of these 5 nerve pathways receives its specific astral sensations from your mind navel and transmits it to a site about midway down your back, or about 1/2 below a line across your back uniting bottom of your shoulder blades, or into that portion of your spinal cord located within the space of your 8th and 9th thoracic vertebrae. From there, the astral sensations are transmitted up your spine parallel to each other in different sections of your spinal cord under such neuroanatomical names as the tract of Gall, the tract of Burdock, the tract of Lissauer, the lateral spinothalamic tract, the ventral spinothalamic tract, and so forth. One of them proceeds to your cerebellum, your muscle coordination center. Others proceed to your thalamus, your sensations recording center. The remainder proceed to other parts of your brain. All terminate in your conscious and subconscious minds. All of them together create your psychastral route, and that is how the route unites your magic key to secret ESP plus control. Control your conscious mind. Your psychastral route will be described more thoroughly as you are taught how to use its miraculous power. How to put the magic key to secret ESP plus control under the domination of your conscious mind. Your conscious mind itself erects the most formidable barrier against your dominating the magic key to secret ESP plus control with it by its instinctive doubting attitude. Even Jesus demanded full faith from the sick before he ventured to heal them. It is difficult, on the other hand, to order all doubt of the magic key to secret ESP plus control out of your conscious mind, because some doubt will remain in it in undetectable ways. The animals and the unsophisticates, uneducated, don't possess these lurking doubts, and so they are easily receptive to ESP plus communication. You yourself can never hope to seize hold of or use the magic key to ESP Plus control unless you can absolutely put all doubts of it out of your mind. Fortunately, it so happens that your physical body possesses a secret proved ability which can put all lurking doubts out of your conscious mind and enable you to acquire secret ESP Plus control. This secret proved quality is the integrative flexibility of your central nervous system, your brain and spinal cord. Integrative means the ability to pass into another form or kind by a series of intermediate grades. With the integrative flexibility of your central nervous system, you can suddenly change any thought or impression you receive into the very opposite one instantly. Furthermore, you can halt and change it before it even reaches your brain. You can do so by halting it at one nerve gap, one of a nerve pathway, or by weakening it at the nerve gap and immediately strengthening the opposite thought either right there or at nerve gap 2 of that nerve pathway, so that you practically exterminate the thought you don't want your brain to receive. The nerve gaps or synapses are the spaces between the endings of the different nerve segments which form a nerve pathway. Each nerve pathway has from 1 to 4 nerve gaps, depending on the number of segments which form it. The usual function of the nerve gap is to slow down or weaken, inhibit the intensity of the message which is being transmitted along its nerve pathway. And it can do so by 4 times or more. Your central nervous system, though, is so remarkably flexible that it can likewise develop at the nerve gap excitatory power, or the power to accelerate or strengthen the message it is transmitting instead of slowing down or weakening it. A scientist called that seemingly miraculous reversing power the integrative action of the central nervous system. How your central nervous system, your brain and spinal cord possesses that remarkable ability is a matter of dispute among physiologists and is too involved to be gone into here. This remarkable ability nonetheless makes it possible for you to rid your conscious and subconscious minds of all lurking doubts about ESP Plus and thereby enable you to dominate ESP Plus with your conscious mind. You will consequently be taught how to apply and speed up applying this remarkable ability within you right now. How to apply and speed up the integrative flexibility of your central nervous system. The faster you apply the integrative flexibility of your central nervous system when you want to put the magic key to ESP Plus control under the domination of your conscious mind, the faster you will acquire secret ESP Plus control. So study and master that now. Lie on your back in bed or sit on a chair and shut your eyes. Again, visualize your astral body right before you, connected to you by the silver cord. Again, fill yourself with absolute confidence in your astral body and in its power to do anything whatever on earth. And let this confidence saturate your whole body from head to foot. That dilates your mind navel, and your astral body flow rushes into you through your reversely open silver cord valve. Right away, now, your conscious mind will give vent to lurking doubts that your astral body can indeed do anything whatever on earth for you, and these doubts will bounce your astral body flow right back out of your physical body through your mind navel and prevent you from even hoping to gain ESP Plus control. To prevent that from happening, the instant your lurking doubts tear loose in your conscious mind, implant the very opposite thought, the absolute conviction that your astral body can perform at once any miracle you ask of it. In the nerve gaps located halfway down your spinal cord, or where your psychastral route transmits the communication from your astral body into your spinal cord. Practice to effect this so fast that you implant your absolute conviction in those nerve gaps before the lurking doubts in your conscious mind can reach them and block the communication you are receiving up your psychastral route from your astral body. You do this regularly already when you participate in any kind of athletic competition. The boxer has to think and dodge or block the blow coming his way after it is on its way to him, and even think so fast before it reaches him that he can beat it to the punch with a counter blow of his own. So does the fencer. The basketball player does likewise when he intercepts the ball after a rival player has thrown it in a different direction from which he had been expected to. In Psychastra, you do the same to yourself by beating your own conscious mind thought to the punch. When your lurking doubts subsequently reach those nerve gaps, they will be routed and exterminated from your central nervous system, while the communication from your astral body will find the way paved for it to rush on dynamically to your now unresisting conscious mind and implant itself full strength into it. You can then consciously, easily communicate with your astral body and put it under your domination and acquire secret ESP Plus control. How people have locked secret ESP Plus control within themselves and brought about success in everything they undertook. History is full of successes of the fortunate thousands all through the ages who have brought about actual or seeming miracles in everything they undertook with secret ESP Plus control, even though only comparatively few of them had found the magic key to it. Religious mystics are not the only ones who have acquired secret ESP Plus control. Psychic masters in India and Egypt have parted crocodile-infested rivers and crossed them safely with their followers. Others have let loose torrents upon villages that had mistreated them. Some have cured lepers with a word or mowed down a gang of thugs with a command. They have killed man-eating lions with one move or tamed them with a smile. The late Edgar Cayce diagnosed disease in people from different parts of the country whom he had never seen or heard about, and whose letters begging for his help had not even been mailed. Tony Agapoa, the Filipino healer, not only diagnoses disease accurately, although he knows little about the human body or pathology, but performs bloodless, painless surgery without instruments or anesthesia. Modern prophets, including Gene Dixon, predicted President Kennedy's assassination long before it took place, and many, including Cayce, who knew nothing about stocks, foretold the market with astounding accuracy. Some even warned about Abraham Lincoln's assassination. Even Caesar was told to watch the Ides of March. Nostradamus, Swedenborg, and many others have envisaged world history with mystifying exactitude for centuries beyond their time. In Africa and in the West Indies, medicine men have flown like giant birds for miles, right in broad daylight. Psychic masters in India have lived as long as 450 years, totally rejuvenating themselves as many as 5 times. Meanwhile, they regained their teeth, their sexual powers, the color of their hair, and their muscular and other physiological powers. Polynesian natives have run over red-hot coals in their bare feet without being burned. Yogis have slept in the air without support for hours at a time, or drawn swords through their cheeks or their bodies with little loss of blood and showed no after effects or scars. Hawaiian pearl divers have made sharks completely ignore them. More material-minded individuals have made millions become unbeatable in their careers or in sport, or have cheated death time and again. Some have overcome wholly the effects of crippling strokes, even though their physicians had declared that only a miracle could improve them. Some have kept themselves looking and feeling young well into their 70s. Others, who looked and felt their ages at 70, married young partners and altered their outlooks and reversed their physiological functions and turned from 20 to 25 years younger. Still others have gone to war and fought in the thickets of action for years and returned without a scratch. Indeed, there is no miracle which people have not done with secret ESP Plus control. Summary of this magic key. Secret ESP Plus control is an infinitely greater power than ESP. With it, you actually unite with your astral body and assume complete dictatorship over it and make the use of any of its miracle powers at will. Psychastra is the magic key to this secret dictatorship of your conscious mind over your astral body. And it is concealed in your Mind Navel. With Psychastra, Psycho-Astral Power, you seize hold of this magic key to secret ESP Plus control and reverse the normal movement of your silver cord valve and permit full communication from your astral body to rush into your physical body. Then unite the magic key with your conscious mind through your psychastral route. With the integrative flexibility of your central nervous system, your brain and spinal cord, you put the magic key under the domination of your conscious mind and acquire secret control. You increase the control enormously by speeding up, applying the integrative flexibility of your central nervous system. You are now ready to lock your ESP Plus control firm within you with Psychastra and get ready to use its various miracle powers at will. How to lock your secret ESP Plus control firmly within you. with Psychastra. Now that you have drawn ESP Plus power into you from your astral body through the psychastral route, you have to lock it firmly within you so that you can use it consciously anytime you wish. You also want to be able to project it in any manner or form you wish, and with any intensity you wish, so that you can execute any of the different miracle powers. You will now be taught how to do that. How your conscious mind receives the communications from your astral body through your psychastral route. After the astral body flow, which you have drawn into you through your psychastral route, reaches your brain, each of its 5 individual nerve pathways terminate in its own brain center. Each decodes itself there, just as it does physiologically. Your thalamus decodes your sensation of astral pain, temperature, touch, and pressure. Your cerebellum decodes your sensations of the pull of gravity and of the mental horizontal planes of the earth. Your tegmentum decodes your spinal visual reflexes, those of keeping your body erect when you are upside down, and your olive decodes your reflexes of equilibrium and riding. All these sensations will be different when received from your astral body than from your physical body, and will therefore be decoded differently. Your astral body, for instance, is free from the influence of the pull of gravity. It has no trouble keeping itself erect when it is upside down. It is unaffected by pain or temperature and has no difficulty with equilibrium. When you or different brain centers make these decodings and accept them without question, your mind and physical body are ready to put them into execution, or to project the proper astral force and form necessary to duplicate them. The decodings are then transferred from those different brain centers of yours to your psychic center in your forehead and temples area. Your psychic power center converts them into electrical transmission and sends them to your conscious mind. That is how your conscious mind receives communications from your astral body through your psychastral route. How to unite your astral body to your conscious mind and seize complete secret ESP Plus control. Your astral body is actually a different person than you, but it resides within you, and so it possesses your own size and contours. It is composed, though, of a different substance than you. It is weightless, and it has powers which you hardly believe possible, the powers of ESP Plus. It can tell the past and foretell the future with exactitude. It can leave your physical body and appear anywhere on Earth instantly and return instantly. And it will never die. Actually, it weighs about an ounce. When you are alive and it resides within your physical body, however, it does change, much like you in personality, since it is constantly bombarded with communication from you and is thereby burdened after your demise with your own conflicts. You are therefore astrally united to it in every possible way, because while it knows everything you think or do or know, you know nothing about it, except on the rare occasions when it manifests itself in you in unexplainable psychic phenomena. Otherwise, it keeps its superhuman abilities, knowledge, and powers to itself. Although it knows what will happen in the future, for instance, it does not keep you regularly informed about the future, except occasionally and unexpectedly when you live through a mystical experience, such as through a prophetic dream or through a strange impulse when you are wide awake. That is a pity, because it prevents you from using ESP Plus power, even after the latter happens to reach you occasionally and unexpectedly, so you have to unite with your astral body, and also to enslave it to you, so that it will always cooperate with you. Learn how to achieve that next as follows. How to enslave your astral body with your conscious mind. Lie quietly in bed, with the room dark and your eyes closed. Get the feel of your astral body lying within you all through your body, like water soaked up in a sponge. And yet it is not you, no more than the water is the sponge, but only something that permeates all through you. It lacks the fierce life instinct of your body cells, since it cannot die, nor is it physically alive, but only astrally alive. But now, make it feel as if it were alive, as if it craved to be physical, to endow you with all its seemingly miraculous astral powers. To do so, tense your arms beside you and inhale, drawing your astral body deeper still into your tissues, like the not yet saturated sponge drawing still more water deeper and deeper into its every pore. Feel your astral body flowing fully into you through the open valve of your mind navel, saturating your every body cell from your heels up to your calves, your knees, your thighs, your hips, your abdomen, your back, your chest, your shoulders, your neck, and your scalp, till it tingles the very hairs on your head, and lastly on your face, pressing hard into your cheeks. Then relax and exhale. Rest half a minute and repeat this astrophysical exercise. This time, though, as you draw your astral body into you, feel it also drawing into you all its staggering ESP plus powers, its powers of clairvoyance, prophecy, knowledge, infinitesimally greater than your own, and the capacity to travel any distance through space. Visualize these powers very clearly and draw them into you. Relax for another half minute and repeat the astrophysical exercise. This time, though, draw your astral body flow into you as if you were drawing life itself into you, as if your astral body will never again be allowed to depart from you, but will have to remain within you always and keep you alive eternally. Your astral body will savagely resist this foreign idea to it, for the flesh is not immortal, but continue drawing it into you nevertheless until you overcome it, and it obeys your conscious command. Battle it down if it resists by repeating this part of the astrophysical exercise several times if necessary, until your astral body calms down and accepts its fate like a struggling, weakening, swallowed prey. Then relax completely. You will have enslaved your astral body to your conscious mind. It will soon recover and reassert its independence, but you know now how to re-enslave it anytime you wish to make use of its tremendous secret ESP plus power. How to trigger the might of your secret ESP plus control. To trigger the full might and variety of secret ESP plus control with your conscious mind, you have to bring into play the limitless chemical kingdom of your brain. You do so through the medium of the successive inhibitory, excitatory subtrance. Your brain, physiologists have concluded after decades of experiment, possesses substances which, when released into itself and your body, can bring about volcanic changes in both of them. Among these are Y-aminobutyric acid, substance P, norepinephrine, cerebrotonin, serotonin, a variety of adrenergic substances, as well as a steadily growing number of newly discovered substances. Some of them, like Y-aminobutyric acid, have been found in a greater free concentration in the brain than in any other organ examined, and are probably concerned with the maintenance of normal patterns of electric activity in the brain. Others, like serotonin and the variety of adrenergic substances found in it, particularly in the hypothalamus, the pharmacological museum of the brain, are powerful inhibitors at the nerve gaps and combat the normal cholinergic excitation, acetylcholine secretion found there, which facilitates the transmission of the message across it. Indeed, these powerful inhibitors decrease the secretion of acetylcholine so effectively in the more susceptible nerve gaps that they could cause psychic power disturbances in the individual, such as fits. Your brain, in other words, contains far more mysterious substances in it and is capable of synthesizing far more still than you dream of. It is this multiplicity of action of which your brain is capable, the physiologists declared, due to the apparently fantastic number of physiological active substances it can produce, which makes the semi-isolated brain a chemical kingdom largely sufficient to itself. When you project your absorbed ESP plus control back into your astral body to perform something miraculous for you, for instance, in the following ways: to provide you with information that makes you the wisest person, or the power to spellbind the person you love, or to restore you to health, or to endow you with superhuman power, or to trim off excess weight, or to cast off a terrible but obstinate habit, or to return to you a remarkable degree of youth, or to stay the hand of death off someone you hold dear, or to protect you against assailants, or to tap a concealed source of staggering wealth for you. In all these ways, your brain automatically synthesizes the very chemical transmitter agent it needs to project the right astral force and form which your astral body needs to convert that desired miracle into a reality, provided you accompany the projection with the successive inhibitory excitatory sub-trance. How to apply the successive inhibitory excitatory sub-trance and trigger the full might of your secret ESP Plus control. The successive inhibitory excitatory sub-trance is not exactly a trance, but it is the powerful medium for triggering the full might of your secret ESP Plus control. All the psychic masters who performed miracles applied it. Krishna Tandi, for instance, applied it when he fed his 30-star followers by breaking up and multiplying the bits of a quarter loaf of bread. The prophet Kantabinda applied it when he parted the waters of the crocodile-infested river and made a pathway for himself and his disciples to go across safely. The successive inhibitory excitatory sub-trance is done in 2 steps. These are: step 1, fill yourself with a fierce rage at all doubts against the reality of supernatural power. Get so angry at them that you tremble like a wild animal about to counterattack its worst tormentor. Your brain will instantly fill with serotonin and with the variety of adrenergic substances, the powerful inhibitors of transmissions across the nerve gaps, and will prevent all such conscious and subconscious mind impressions from devitalizing your ESP Plus control. Step 2, fill yourself with an overwhelming conviction that the miracle power you wish to acquire can be acquired, that you merely have to command the miracle to become a reality, and it will. The chemical kingdom of your brain will automatically secrete the appropriate unknown chemical, call it X, which it needs to project the right astral force and form necessary for your astral body to convert that desired miracle into reality. How to create the right astral force and form necessary for your astral body to convert a desired miracle into reality. Your conscious mind is filled now with the secret ESP Plus control it needs to create whichever miracle power you wish. It just has to alter your astral body flow into the right astral force and form necessary to incite your astral body to perform the specific miracle. So, learn how to alter your astral body flow into the right astral force and form necessary to bring about any particular miracle you wish. Sit or lie down quietly and visualize with absolute clarity exactly the miracle you wish your astral body to perform for you. Then visualizing it so that it will understand precisely what you want it to do for you. Don't let the least doubt or hesitancy invade your mind. If it does, exterminate it at once with the integrative flexibility of your central nervous system. When that doubt persists into your conscious mind, in other words, at once you fill your psychastral route nerve gaps in your spinal cord with the opposite thought, or with the thought of absolute confidence in your astral body's ability to execute the miracle you wish, that will exterminate the doubting thought before it can devitalize your astral body flow. Your brain will then instantly secrete the appropriate unknown chemical substance with which to alter your astral body flow into the right astral force and form necessary to incite your astral body to perform the specific miracle. Practice this astrophysical exercise and master altering your astral body flow. How your secret power packets facilitate your altered astral body flow to incite your astral body to perform the specific miracle. You will tremendously facilitate the rush of your altered astral body flow to your astral body to incite it to perform the specific miracle you wish by reinforcing it before you project it back to it with your secret power packets. What are your secret power packets? Revealed now will be the secret of this concealed dynamite within you. First of all, with the exception of your sensory nerves, the nerves which bring messages from your body to your spinal cord or brain, and of your sympathetic nerves, your fighting nerves, practically all the nerves which extend between your brain or spinal cord and your body are cholinergic. They are called cholinergic because they liberate acetylcholine. Acetylcholine facilitates the transmission of any message or command flowing along a nerve to leap across the nerve gaps between its different segments. Practically nothing, however, is known about how or where the acetylcholine is synthesized or stored in your body before it is released in your nerve gaps. Practically nothing, in other words, is known as to where it is hidden or stored from the time it is made until it is used. Acetylcholine, however, does appear to be released continually in quanta or packets by cholinergic nerves, mostly by your parasympathetic nerves, your loving nerves, for these stimulate the normal functions of your body. When these nerves are resting, acetylcholine is released in much greater amounts when these nerves are stimulated. The more intensely you stimulate these nerves, the more of their nerve fibers you will stimulate, and the more acetylcholine they will release. The more acetylcholine the nerves release too, the easier it is for the message or command flowing along them to be transmitted across their nerve gaps, and the greater it will influence your altered astral body flow. To increase the quantity of acetylcholine being continually released in these quanta or packets by your cholinergic, mostly parasympathetic nerves, then is to convert these quanta or packets into power packets, which can rush your visualized miracle or your altered astral body flow much faster across your nerve gaps, and thereby remove all physiological obstacles from its path. To achieve that, you have to create those power packets and put them under conscious control. How to create your secret power packets and put them under conscious control. As you project your altered astral body flow back through your psychastral route to your astral body to incite it to perform your visualized miracle, fill yourself with a feeling of the greatest contentment, as if everything you want in life is about to come true instantly, as if by magic. Your parasympathetic synthesize the most acetylcholine when you feel happy and contented. Fill yourself with this overwhelmingly delightful feeling deep down in your bones and spread it through your muscles and finally through your skin until your whole body experiences the sensation of floating ethereally in the air. Practice and perfect this astrophysical exercise to acquire this feeling in a flash, the instant your miracle power command your astral body to perform the miracle you wish. Why the Multi-Div is the secret formula to climax miracle action. Accompany the projection of your altered astral body flow to your astral body now with the Multi-Div to assure your incited astral body performing the miracle you wish, because the Multi-Div is the secret formula to climax miracle action. The basic difference between the commonplace and the miraculous is that the commonplace adds to and subtracts from, while the miraculous multiplies to and divides from. If you baked 20 loaves of bread in 1 hour, for instance, that may be commonplace. But if you started with 1 loaf of bread and broke it up into 20 small pieces and immediately converted each piece into a full loaf, you would produce 20 loaves of bread in a few seconds. You would be multiplying to the speed and to the quantity of the bread with which you start, and at the same time dividing it from its resistance to your command for it to multiply. In the commonplace, to be more specific, you add to or create 20 loaves of bread from a certain amount of flour, and with the oven you subtract from its resistance to the converted into bread within the short period of 1 hour. In the miracle, however, you multiply or create 20 loaves of bread from just 1 loaf, and with secret ESP Plus control, you divide its resistance to be converted into bread within the very short period of a few seconds. With miracle creating ESP Plus control, in other words, you always multiply your influence and control over the other person, animal, or thing to which you project it, and always divide its resistance, the time it takes to respond, to your miracle power command. That is the Multi-Div, the secret formula to climax miracle action. By multiplying your own power and at the same time dividing that of your subject to resist it, you acquire supernatural control over anything and everything you project it to. Astronomically speaking, increased speed alone can multiply the destructive power of a thrown pebble to that of a bullet. It even increases its weight significantly. When you ride a merry-go-round of 10 revolutions per minute, your weight gains as much as 11% due to the centrifugal acceleration, or to the acceleration on your body mass due to the gravitational pull. Should you be shot out of a cannon like a human cannonball, you would weigh at the time nearly 460 times your original weight. And when you land on the net, you would weigh due to the additional gravitation weight of falling 1,255 times your original weight. You would also weigh more at the poles than at the equator, because then you are closer to the center of the Earth, since the Earth is slightly flattened at the poles. According to the theory of relativity, too, if you could travel at the speed of light, your body size would decrease 50%, undoubtedly due to the tremendous resistance of the ether to your body. In all these instances, multiplication of some quality, such as that of your speed of movement or of the position of your movement, causes outstanding changes in qualities about you which are virtually non-existent in your everyday commonplace adding and subtracting life. That is why the Multi-Div is the secret formula to climax miracle action, because it can be multiplied or divided indefinitely, MLD n+1, until it approaches more nearly the miracles of the mystics and gods. That is why ESP Plus is infinitely stronger than ESP. ESP is limited by the mind power development of the person experiencing it, but ESP Plus control has no limit. The secret formula of the Multi-Div and how to use it to bring about the greatest miracle power you can conceive of. Very briefly stated, the secret formula of the Multi-Div consists of your 1. Multiplying the normal goal which you might otherwise attain by infinite proportions of it, or by infinite varieties of it, or by infinite combinations of proportions and varieties of it, and at the same time 2. Dividing infinitely the normal time it would take you to achieve your goal normally. If it would take you 20 years, for instance, to become an outstanding physician, with the Multi-Div you should be able, like Edgar Cayce, Tony the Filipino healer, Andrew Jackson Davis of the early 19th century, and others, to become 1 in 5 minutes or less. For it is not your human self that acquires that skill, but your secret ESP Plus control of your astral body. Man has hardly tapped the miracles he can achieve by controlling his astral body at will. How to learn how to use the Multi-Div. Now that you have put your secret power packets under secret ESP Plus control to facilitate your altered astral body's flow, rushing much faster to your astral body, at once again visualize that miracle coming true. And now multiply everything about it. If you want an increase in salary, a promotion, opportunity, someone romantically, or to heal yourself or somebody of an ailment, more physical power, confidence, nerve control, money to come suddenly into your life, whatever it is, so long as it has something worthy, instantly multiply the gains you would like to get from the miracle. Multiply them by at least 5 times, then instantly divide, speed up by at least 5 times the time period in which you would like to get it. If you'd like to get it in 10 months, say, visualize yourself getting it in 2 months. That is a practical application of the Multi-Div. Then practice multiplying the gains you would like to get from the miracle by 10 times, then 100 times, then 1,000 times, then 10,000 times, and do it each time fully convinced that the miracle will come about like that. You might not get a raise anywhere that size, but you will get one considerably larger than you expected. You will also get it much faster than you dreamed of, for your employer will psychically feel that you deserve far more than he planned to give you. Summary of this secret. Here are the simple steps for locking your secret ESP Plus control firmly into you with Psychastra. Step 1. Know you are drawing communications from your astral body through your astral body flow up your psychastral route and decoding them in the 5 different brain centers of the 5 pathways of your psychastral route. Step 2. In order to convert these communications into miracle action, first of all, enslave your astral body flow to your conscious mind and seize complete secret ESP Plus control. Step 3. With the seemingly limitless chemical kingdom within your brain, trigger next the full might and variety of your ESP Plus control through the medium of your inhibitory, excitatory subtrance. Fill yourself with the overwhelming conviction that your hope for miracle will come true. Step 4. That at once alters your astral body flow into the right astral force and form necessary to incite your astral body to perform your specific miracle for you. Step 5. As you project your altered astral body flow to your astral body, facilitate its rushing across your nerve gaps much faster with your secret power packets. Feel exuberant. Step 6. Accompany the projections with the Multi-Div, the secret formula to climax miracle action that ensures your miracle being performed by multiplying the gains you wish from the miracle up to 10,000 times and dividing the time you wish to take place by 10,000 times. You will now be locking your secret ESP Plus control firmly within you with Psychastra. So there's several more chapters that are given after this, but I thought that was a good beginning to talk about this, and I don't know if I believe it. There are times when I read Frank Rudolph Young that it feels like he's making up words or using medical jargon to sound like he is an expert on something that he may not necessarily be an expert on. There may be something to this. He has several other books, and I have not read some of them because he uses this sort of controversial technique, which seemingly contradicts with many of the other writings that I have gone over on the podcast. This idea of using anger, controlled anger, to change your thinking, to increase energy, to change the nerves. I don't quite understand it, but he does talk about this repeatedly in his other books. It is an interesting thing to talk about. I am putting it out there so that we can talk about it more. Please, in the comments, let's talk about it. Now, what I'm getting is, in the navel, there is these branches of nerves that move up into the silver cord, which goes up your spine. And this particular connection to the mind navel can be manipulated. I still don't understand exactly what he means by that. I'm going to try some of these techniques, but there may be something to it. I've always felt like that we live in these highly advanced technological bodies that have ways of manipulating it through the parasympathetic nervous system. So there's something to this, and there may be some elements of truth in this that we can pull out of it, understanding the interaction of the nervous system. Also, it is compelling to me that this astral body that is a part of us is a separate person, and integrating with this astral body or energetic body may be one of the keys to creating power, and in the process you create miracles. We may be accidentally doing this already, but I wanted to present this as another way of looking at the astral. Now, there are some comments here where he talks about feeling it in the back of the shoulders that seem to relate to the Platt techniques. Check out my episode on advanced Platt technique training and my Platt meditation. I don't think they're related. They could be. Some people have asked whether the silver cord is related to the Platt, and I don't know. They may be. It certainly feels like they are, but then I've had people say they are not. They're two separate things. So there might be something to this. Some of it I did not understand. Some of it I did. Clearly there is something that he had found along the way, because he wrote about it in many books, about utilizing short bursts of anger to manipulate the nervous system, opening up certain valves and connections that connect to the silver cord. If somebody else can help me to understand it, then I would love for you to do that. So, also you can check out this book. It's available in several forums, publicly available. Psychastra, the key to secret ESP control. And you can find additional techniques and perhaps goes into a further explanation of these things. I know that many parts of that were harder for me to read just because of the terminology that he's using, and some of it didn't resonate as being correct. So if anybody has some sort of medical degree, I'd like to know how accurate the things he's talking about are. And I want to particularly understand this concept of changing the nerve gap, of stopping an idea in your body before it gets to the brain. Is that possible? Can we use an understanding of the nervous system to change ideas or to stop ideas from reaching to the brain? Maybe so. So I want to share anything we can about reality creation, and seemingly this may contradict with what other things I believe. Staying in a positive frame of mind, and I don't necessarily feel like using anger, but maybe there's something to it. If you have ever heard of anybody utilizing controlled anger in short bursts as a form of reality creation, let me know. It feels as if that may have unexpected consequences if we understand the law of assumption and things like that. But I do like this idea of multiplication. It's as simple as just look at some books, the 10x idea. If you are wanting $100,000, start imagining getting $1 million. 100,000 seems a lot easier when you really enter into the 10x idea. Multiply what it is you want to do. Shorten the time. Hey, I want to get this done in a year. Imagine if you can get it done in 2 months. So there is something that happens when you divide and multiply using larger numbers that helps accelerate your own manifestations, even on a basic level, not worrying about the silver cord and all that other stuff. So maybe there's something to this. Maybe it's not the astral body. Maybe it's another body. There are 5 or 6 bodies, and I've now been able to document through research and different things. I talk about it in Calling Down the Power meditation, where we use Hebrew names to activate different bodies. There's an electromagnetic body. And so sometimes one author may be talking about something that's the same as another author. They're still the same, but they're using different terminology. So I just want to explore this as a laboratory with everybody out there. This is a shared course. So if you have some knowledge that can help enlighten me about this, I would love to know more. So I'll be definitely reading the comments. And I just want to thank you for sharing this with me, and would love to know what you think about it. All episodes of The Reality Revolution can be found at therealityrevolution.com. And welcome to The Reality Revolution.